All right, hello everyone. Today we are gonna start refactoring a bit. As I mentioned in the previous stream, I'm thinking to refactor all the render props mess that we have over there to use hooks. So I think, yeah, on August 6th, so about 10 days ago, Apollo client, well, the guys from Apollo released a version which uses Apollo hooks, which I'm very, very happy. I mentioned it a couple of times. I think I also had it under the radar when I started the Slack video series, but it was under beta, but now it's officially launched. So I would like to refactor my code to use this. The only reason is that I don't really like how the app is structured using the render props, and the hooks offer some very nice capabilities. So less data management, yes. So I don't really like the boilerplate and the extra code that I have to write using render props. Especially if you have like a query and a mutation and stuff like that, it's quite hard to follow the code since you have nested things. So they have it here, exactly what I was mentioning. Interesting, the bundle size is smaller, so you have 5.1 kilobytes, but that's not really what makes a huge difference for me. But one thing which in our previous stream we had the problem with the fact that I have to authenticate every single request that I'm sending to Hasura, and I'm doing a bit of a hack that I'm not returning the render function before I have the user inside the context. But with this very nice thing, we can do lazy query and lazy mutation. So basically we can decide when do we want to fire certain queries. So this is very, very nice. As you can see, the docs are already updated. I actually checked the docs, and if we look at the docs, it already uses the query. So it already uses React hook. So now all the documentation basically is written for to be used with hooks. So if you are using render props, you have the example here how to do it, but the name of the functions, they still use the name of the hooks. So okay, a pretty interesting approach. I like it. I definitely like it. So I think we should focus now on rewriting our queries and mutation to use the Apollo client based on hooks. So let's get going, and probably we will fix also the problems that we have here in the sidebar, that things are not updating and stuff like that. So I'm really thrilled to see how this is gonna turn out. So let's try it. What do we need to do? We need to install this. Okay. By the end of the stream, I hope that we can actually remove the other package that we were using, like the Apollo React client or whatever. So let's start with have the sidebar. I think better start clean, so I'm gonna close everything. I'm gonna go to layout and take it from there. So sidebar. Do we have any queries here? No. No, nothing here. In channels, I think we do have some queries. No. Where is this channel coming from? Ah, no, we do have one here. Sorry, didn't see it. Okay, so how do we write our first query? We say use query. Okay, cool. Seems okay. And you see we have this hack that the query shouldn't be loaded. So I'm thinking to do like this: const equals use lazy query or something. Okay, I'm first gonna import it. Instead of using this, we should replace everything. Though I would say we might need it because I'm wrapping it with the client. We'll see how we can use lazy query. Okay, that's exactly what we want. So use query, we have loading error and data. So use lazy query. I guess we pass this. Okay. But they say that it has Typescript support, but it doesn't. Apparently, the types are not. Are not here. So I guess we need to do this. Add types. Because it doesn't seem to have types, right? Let's try. Yeah, okay, now it has. Sorry. It does have some. So I'm passing the query and the options. Okay, so the query is membership query, and then we have variables. Cool. So my ID sometimes is not very responsive. Apparently, if it reaches some part of the code which is okay, so we have an array out of which I take execute and loading and data and probably error. We don't use error. We need this subscribe to more. Even though, as far as I know, it's not working properly, but I will take it. I mean, subscribe to more. I think we need to massage a bit the data in a way to work with subscribe more, because I think the query is too complex and the subscription is not listening to the right stuff. But anyhow, let's make it work first. So because we have this and because we have this problem that if the user ID is not set, we cannot authenticate the request. So we basically have to wait until the authentication goes through. And once we have the token set into the store or into the local storage, as a matter of fact, and the user set into the store, we shouldn't make any query. So that's the reason why we have this hack for this, which generates this very weird looking white stuff. So what I am thinking is that we should replace it and call this in a hook. So basically I would have a use effect. Well, as a matter of fact, we have here the user. You see, so if the user ID okay, that's for status, but I want to have the same thing here. I want to execute a query. So basically want to run this execute. Have to add it to the array of dependencies. Now I would comment this thing out. This, we don't need it anymore. Okay. Okay. So return like this. Okay, let's try it. Declaration expected line 120. Okay. I think now we should be fine. Okay. Could not find client in the context or passed as an option. Via the props. Well, we do have it here. But that's okay. Or pass an Apollo client instance via the options. Well, I would suggest that we do like this for now. Hello, hello, CR5. Hello, how are you? Where is this? Ah, okay. Comment this part out. No undefined. Okay. Now what's the problem? Okay. Client. Okay. Do I have to comment out more? Oh, Jesus. I'm commenting out half of the component. And it still doesn't work. Could not find the client. Ah, okay. I think the reason why this happens is that we might need to replace some stuff. The package exports Apollo provider component to the client area, just like the old app. So I guess inside the app component we need to use another Apollo provider, not this one, but rather the one from here, this one. And now it should work, I guess. How are you, CR5? You good? Could not find client. Wrap the component in an Apollo provider. Okay. Maybe get started to see exactly how it should. Apollo boost. Okay, connect. Apollo provider. Okay, and the client. So yeah, so Okay. Inside here. Can we get the client from here? Use Apollo client. So this is the way we might get the client. So you don't need it as a prop. Here we don't need these anymore. Probably the entire app will crash, so better go into the layout and comment this thing out. Okay, so no props. Const client equals use Apollo client. And can we do this? Client dot mutate. Very nice, very nice. So we can do this basically. Same thing here. Actually, it's much cleaner. I already like it. Pum 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 pum. Okay, I think we might have done the proper thing. My only concern is because we might have some nested stuff. Sidebar is not exported. Okay. We might have some queries nested inside. So okay. Don't need the Apollo client. Don't need this anymore. Because I think, why are you not compiling? Attempted import error, not exported from sidebar. Okay, sure. So now, okay, so it does work how it's supposed to work. I'm pretty happy with it. And in a pretty clean way, I would say. I like it. So I think if we compare the previous file, So before we had, yeah, I mean, we didn't chunk too much, but still it's about 10 lines of code shorter, I would say. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty okay. I mean, we chopped some parts from there, and I think it's way more cleaner now. We don't have to use anymore that, what do you call it? Render prop mass. We don't have to use the Apollo client to be passed as a property through a higher order function. So I like it. It's very clean. We will have to check this for the subscription to more, because as far as I know, it doesn't really work. So I am thinking that whether we actually need it, but I will keep it for now. For now, I will actually keep it. So okay, moving forward. What do we have here? We have the channels, we have the direct messages. I think we have here some. You see here, I have a mutation inside a mutation. I don't like this. I have two mutations, so I think here we can improve more the readability of the component. So I would say const I don't know. How do we call the mutation part? Let's not rush like I usually do and see exactly. So const add to do data use mutation. Okay, pretty straightforward. So I would say const create membership and blah blah blah, and it would be use mutation. Use mutation. This is the mutation. I guess on update we have this function. I think we can just call it like this. Oh, come on. Can't I copy it? All right. And what do we need from here? Create membership. Okay, we have this. And for now, I think we are good. And we have the second mutation. Create channel mutation. Create channel. Use mutation. Pop. We need this. Create channel. Okay. And we have on completed. We have a function. Basically, we copy this. That's what we need. Right. Nice. And then we have this. Okay. So we have the create membership and create channel. Okay, we have that one as well. So let's try to clean up this mess like this and like this and this. We don't need it anymore. Okay. And this. Return. Okay. We might need this. So expected. What are you expecting then? Because we have a form. We don't need this. We don't need this anymore. So I will on change here. Is here the problem? No. Expression expected. Let's try like this. Ah, okay. It might be from here. Create membership. Okay. This is from here. And we might need this. We might need this and this. And now we are fine. So we have it now. So I think here the code is way more clean than it used to be. I mean, I find it way more readable than Let's see, can I have history of the file? Show file history in view. File history. Okay. Pop. Okay, come on. Jeez, do I know how to use this? I don't know. Anyhow, I think we can compare it like this. So, much easier. We scrapped 6 lines of code apparently, so not that many, but still, I mean, the readability, like if you look at the render function, it's much more clean now. It's way cleaner than this thing, which was very hard. Like you had a mutation inside of the mutation. You had like some parameters which were calling some property from that mutation. So I really didn't like this part. I mean, I like render props for, like, for instance, in a library like downshift, but for Apollo, not really. I mean, it was one of the main reasons why it kind of prevented me from using Apollo for a while because of this. Because like this is the first project, to be very clear. This is the first project when I actually tried to use Apollo in React, like for real. Before I just tried it a bit like in a weekend. I worked with Apollo on an Angular project, and there it worked pretty well, but the implementation is a bit different because it uses like the Angular way of using like observables and RxJS stuff, but it worked pretty fine. But here with the render props, I didn't really like it. But now I like it. It's clean. It does its job. So I love it. Go to the next one. Join channel. I think we have here some stuff here as well. We have a query. We have a mutation. Again, what is this thing? I cannot really. I'm not even understanding. What is this? Really? I mean, so nested inside and so on. Okay, let's fix the. Sorry, let's fix it. So we have ref debounce. Okay, let's do here const. What's the first thing? It's the mutation. Create member join channel. That's the mutation, and create membership. Create membership. React use. No, it's not React. It's use mutation. We pass the join channel, and we have it. I don't take anything else, and in the query, I need this part. Well, not entirely, not exactly, but okay. And okay, the funny part is that I didn't really. The funny part is that I changed the code, but I haven't really tested it inside React except the sidebar. So I'm curious to see if everything will work. But anyhow, let's convert all the code to refactor all the code, and then we can look at it. So how is the query called? All channels. Refetch channels query channel. we need data, we need loading, we need the refetch from use query. Okay, so we need this part, and we need this part. Okay, variables, this we don't need, just like that. How is the query? Ah, okay. We need this part. It's not an array like the mutation. Oh, type query. Okay. Everything seems fine. And I only need to do this. Cool. Now, let's see what we can. And you see, I had this weird stuff here. Create membership, like to get the most current one. I'm sure I don't need this part, this ref anymore, to call the mutation. Neither the refetch, of course. So here I just say refetch. So all this junk shouldn't be a problem anymore. Refetch. Okay. This is okay. Create membership. Again, here we can use the create membership. So this is becoming way more clear than it used to be. So this one we don't need anymore. Don't need this anymore. Now we can do this. If loading, we show this thing. Oop. Otherwise, we show this part. And we can just drop all this junk. Parsing error unexpected. Where is this create channel? Okay. No. I want to save. So seems to load. Okay. Better be hydrated if you speak for 2 hours. Format the document. Again, my opinion is that this is way more clean than this. I mean, it's again, now it's a bit like 20 lines of code shorter, but this nesting stuff was really bad. I didn't really like it. So let's remove everything which makes use of the old React Apollo stuff. Here we have nothing. It's good. Subscribe to more in sidebar. main content layout. Okay. So now let's uncomment this part and look inside here if there is something which needs to be refactored. Query. Cool. We have queries here. So again, same thing, const data loading use query. Actually, we need to use the lazy one because of this thing. That's fine. So based on that, we need to use lazy query. Same thing. It's about the messages. It's about the fact that if you're not authenticated, well, if the authentication hasn't gone through, so until the check comes from what's 0, there is no token, and based on that, you cannot send requests to the server. So better wait to be authenticated and then retrieve what you want. So in that case, we need an execute in front. Use lazy query. What do we need? We need the message query. What else do we need? We need some variables. Oh, actually, we need only one. Variables. Okay. Good. We need to subscribe to more. That's for sure. So let's extract it. Subscribe to more. And what else do we need? We might not even need this part any longer, because I was doing this to have the scroll to go to the bottom, and I was doing this dirty trick that I was updating the state with the data that was coming from in order to trigger this part, like to scroll to the bottom basically. But I think it might be even cleaner now, and I'm happy. I'm really happy for that. Let's see. I think we need to move these things a bit more in the upper scope, like here. Message that don't exist on message query. Whatever. Typescript decides. Okay. I think now we are fine. Don't think we need the error. Okay, do we? Or let's put it. Doesn't cost us anything to get the error from here. Okay, let's try to remove this part, see if it works, and if so, so we need data. Okay, this seems fine. So we'll update it like this, and I think the only thing which we have to make sure is that Do we have the user ID? Yes. So now if I would say we do execute, then what? I am thinking, what is this a promise or use lazy query? I'm wondering where is the any variables operation query options returns void. Okay, doesn't really help me. So query lazy options. Okay, I will do this then. I will execute it. I guess I need to put here execute, and then I will scroll to the bottom. And I would also subscribe to more. I would basically copy this part. Okay, we don't need this part anymore. And we have a much cleaner component. Let's clean some of the stuff here. Message query. I think we need this as a type, but let's see. And then we have the input message, which has a mutation. Oh, let's use the mutation and then we are done with the refactor and we can test the app. So we have the submit message, which is a use mutation. This one. Okay, and we don't need anything else. Okay. Let's see. Save. Okay. Subscribe to more in is not a function in the message box. Why is that? Maybe we have to write it in a bit different way. So subscribe to more. It receives options. Okay, so let's try to rewrite it maybe. Document message subscription. I don't know what that means, but let's try it like this. subscribe to more. Up. Subscribe to more options. So what does it expect? Variables? Yes. Document update query owner. So okay. Yes. So there was nothing wrong with my function. Well, there was nothing wrong with that implementation. But when this hook is called, it does this. So if subscribe to more, so if it's not undefined, then call it. Otherwise, wait for it. So let's see now. Execute. Maximum update call set state. Okay, so probably we need to use a different effect. So we can do like this, React. This is gonna be a bit tricky, so I'm gonna comment these things out because I want to know how many times this thing is called. So because the execute, I think it will change. So I need the user. Okay, so let's try to see. We have the object and the response in the sidebar. Up. So we might do this. Okay, so it calls an infinite time, which makes sense because I think this execute is different all the time. Let's try only to retrieve the data. Selected channel, execute. Okay, so it does retrieve it. This is good. Now we need to call this. Let's try without the if statement. And then subscribe to more is not function. Okay. Fine. Okay, so the subscribe to more shouldn't be here. That's for sure. So basically we can do this. Because since it subscribes, I think it's crashing the app. So we have to find a better way. Can we do this then? No. I think so. Basically, we use the layout effect for this, and use effect. Sorry. And what we can do is that React use layout effect to do what we want when the data changes. basically. So we have data, and then we can do this. Basically, select a channel, and we are at the bottom of the scroll, right? So that's good. So we fixed it. But now we need to find a way to subscribe to these changes. And how do we do that? So that's a very interesting case. Well, I think in this case we might be better off using a subscription, but let's try to see. So we have the data. So we have a subscribe to more example. Apollo hooks. Let's see how they do it. It's not the same library, but oh yeah, we could do this. So we should have. So basically, we need another effect, which is called every single time the data changes, or no, the channel changes. So basically, when you change the channel, I would like to call subscribe to more. Oh, where is my subscribe to more function? Oops. Message box. This. I wonder if this is gonna work. So basically now I'm subscribing and then I'm unsubscribing every single time when the subscribe to more changes or the select channel changes. So let's try it. Subscription. Yes. And if subscribe to more exists, then do this. We do let subscription. Because what does this return? Nothing. Any. Okay. For now. I don't like to put any on anything, but since I don't know the types very well, I would rather. So subscription is defined and So if it exists, then I'll subscribe from it. I think that's the way to do it. Okay, let's try. Test with hooks. Yes, it works. Nice. Let's try to send a message to someone else. Test with hooks with another user. Perfect. It works perfectly. I really like it. I think that's perfect. The component is still quite big, mainly because of the styling. I think if we remove the styling, we get some. As a matter of fact, since we are in this refactor episode, let's try to have a better file structure. So this is the message. So I would create a folder called message layout, and inside here we have the message box, move, and then we have message box style.ts, and we don't need this, I think, or we might need it, but not for now. So let's take it from here, move it inside here. At the beginning it was okay to have it in the same file, but now since everything is growing, like the complexity is growing, then I think it's time to move them separately. So now inside here you just need to import container, date header, username, and the date span. Alright, and I think we need to import this. No such file, blah blah blah. I think this is in layout, right? No, it's main content, message box, message layout. Okay. Is it like this that you don't like? Import style from style component. So what's the matter here? Okay, now it works fine. So we have the message box, and I think, what else do we care about? Direct message. Is this direct message, join DM, pop. Okay, so I think we successfully refactor some part. Let's try to create a channel, for instance. I'll call the channel, and I'll show you what the problem is. So now I create a channel, but the subscription won't work because first we didn't subscribe to anything, and I think we need to find a way to do that. So I'll create a channel because I want to make sure that we can actually create channels. So the channel will be Twitch. Okay, now if I reload, I should see the Twitch channel. That's perfect. So creating channels works. Now add channel. Can I join a particular channel, for instance? The Angular one. So now if I check, I should have Angular here. Let's try some which is not here. Vue.js. Do we have a React channel? No, we will take the backbone one. Backbone, okay. And inside here we have backbone. Okay, so this part works. Can I have direct messages with somebody? This doesn't work, so that's a problem. Could not find client. Okay, that means that we forgot to where is this coming from? Apollo consumer side by direct message. Okay, direct message. This is direct message. Function. Where is it? The client. Created on sidebar. Join DM. Join DM. Okay, this one we forgot to refactor it. So join DM component. Join DM. Pum. So what do we need here? We have this query which has some stuff inside it. So the all users query. So what do we need in this case? We need first data loading blah blah blah, use query, and we pass this thing. And some variables. Good. And we need the refetch as well. So variables. So we pass this, we pass this, and then everything should be fine. And we need the refetch as well, right? Okay. Bam. We don't need to use any kind of a reference to that. We just say refetch here, and then it will magically work. We need a client, so I would use const client equals, we don't need this in the props anymore, and is use Apollo client. Very nice. That means we don't need this call to props, and we don't need to say that it's defined. Same thing here, no longer need for this, and it's always defined. And Exit callback, very nice. Okay. So now we have this part, and inside here we say if loading or no data, show me the loading message, which is not styled at all, or give me this. Why do we have a fragment when we don't need it? So we add this part and we remove all this junk. Did I delete something which I shouldn't have? Yes, I deleted the fragment. Okay, so format the document. Do we have any styles here? Yes, we do have a couple of styles, so I will create a join dm styles ts. I'm gonna extract this thing into here. Okay, and then we can put export here. Okay, colors. Let's export the colors as well. Come on. All right. And then we need join DM here instead of whatever inside there. We don't need styled. We don't need this anymore. I think we are good. I think we are good. Join DM is not exported. Yes, most probably it is not. Yes, it is. Please. Yeah, it's join DM. Like this. And inside here it's like this. Perfect. Now let's try. Huh? What was that white thing that I had here? So messages. Now let's see if I filter user 3. Nice, it works. I will want to have a conversation with user 4, join DM. Am I in the right channel, I wonder? Let's try again. I want to have, or no. Oops, sorry. Did create, no. Didn't create, I don't get why I have this thing here. Where is this coming from? Okay. Is this coming from here? Or not? So I want with user 4. So it did create me a channel. Probably because I have this broken part. So I will try to have a conversation with user 6, for instance, which I'm already having. Yes. So now it should be fine. Now the interesting part over here is that I want to how should I say it? I want to clean up a bit this dirty stuff over here and make sure that when you subscribe to somebody or stuff like this, it shows up here. So let's clean up a bit inside Hasura. So I'm gonna delete some memberships. As a matter of fact, so all of these would be deleted. Can I select more of them? No, that's not what I want. Delete, yes. Really? User 6. Okay. 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 So, a bit boring to delete all of this part, but I'm doing it so that we can have a bit of a margin on what we can play with. And I think we need to delete some channels as well. This one. Yes. 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 Okay. 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 To be honest, for how long do we do this? So we did it in about an hour. We managed to refactor everything, so I'm really happy, but how fast we did it. So now let's try to improve it. I have with this guy. So now on the sidebar, I think we had a call to subscribe to more, which is here. But I think the query that we are making membership subscription is different than what did we do for the direct message when we did subscribe to more? Because I think I know why it's not working. Subscribe to more. Message subscribe to more. Message subscription. Well, that's easy. And the reason why this doesn't work is because my subscription is not in sync with my query. Because I think if we check the queries and the subscriptions, and I'm gonna split and hit the right, and then we have here the queries, and I make this one bigger. What are we using to fetch? Let's check inside the sidebar. So we are using the membership query, and we have this membership subscription. Okay, so let's check the query, because I think the problem is that we have the membership query. You see, it is completely different. So I did refactor because I found a better way to query the data, but I haven't updated my subscription. So I think that's the reason why it doesn't work. So I'm thinking that if I query this part, I should get the same result inside here. Besides the fact that it was always subscribing to user 1, so it was even hard-coded what it should look like. So yeah, a pity that I didn't pay attention to updating this part as well. So now if I save it and we go to the sidebar, and when do we want to subscribe to more? When, of course, we want to call this function in an effect. How did we do it for the message? Because I think we need to replicate the behavior. So we had this. Okay, so we have a use effect. Which looks for the subscribe to more. Okay, and the user, I guess. So if user.id, good. Then subscribe to more, membership query. The variables should be fine. Selected channel. Oh no. No. Wait. Cannot find selected channel is not defined. We need the. No. Wait, because this is not the right thing that we want to call. I think. Do we? Where is the sidebar? Because this is the membership. No, it's fine. Why do we need the selected channel, I wonder? Equal user. We don't need it. We actually need the user ID. Whatever. So we have here user ID, which is user.id. Okay. In message box, we apparently have an unused export, and that's good. So, okay, and we want to have net subscription type any subscription. Here we want to unsubscribe when the component is unmounted, for instance, because that's what's gonna happen basically, because the sidebar is always on. We want to say like this. So then we don't have memory leaks and stuff like that. Okay. Does it work? No. Subscribe to more is not a function. And subscribe to more. So, let's see. No, I think it did create. So if I refresh, no, it didn't create. Interesting. So it means that this part doesn't work to create direct messages. Okay, let's try with the channel. I am going to create a channel called ES 2019. I'll create it. What did it happen? Insert membership, returning membership. Okay. Insert channel, type channel, ID channel. Okay. So what did I send? Yes, 19. So we do have the ES 2019. But the membership with that user is not created. That's weird. Okay, but the problem is that also the subscription doesn't work. So I wonder if we ever subscribe to it. Yes, we do subscribe. Ah, okay. Look, it cannot subscribe. Unexpected variables in variable values user ID. Why is that? Because we don't accept a variable, right? So we have user ID equals string is of type string, and it is mandatory, and it's actually user, and here the variable is user. So let's try it again. Let's create another channel. I will call it Java. Create Java. It works. Cool. So we fixed the subscription. The only thing which we need to fix is this part. The part where we create memberships. Oh, this is the new React DevTools that they've just launched. So now you have Profiler, which is separate, and components, and okay, that's nice. Interesting. Okay, yeah. Back to this. So let's try message box. Try to create a membership with user for okay, it did work. So it did create it. So that's fine, right? That's nice. What I wonder is that if I can check, because I have a second account and I want to see whether the status changes when you log in and you log out. But let's try it. Localhost 3000. Okay. Selected channel is null. So we have a problem inside the message box. Okay. Means that we are calling the query when we have no channel. So message query selected channel ID. Selected channel. If not selected channel, but I have this part, so why do you try to run it? I wonder what's the value here. Okay, expect console. Selected channel is null, so I would be more appreciative if I can. Oh, okay, I know what line it is, but huh, interesting. Well, because it might be that we can do this, and this is a smart thing if we can do this, I think. Can we pass the variables here? Yes. Then we actually make sure. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool, yeah. So you can execute it and you pass the variables when you have them. That's amazing. That's really amazing. That's really cool. Okay, Veronica. Let me read quickly your question. So you think that React is difficult? I learned Java. I don't know anything about React, but I need to front-end junior Java. When do you think is the one to learn it? Because people say you need to be very good JavaScript developer. So basically, your question is whether you should learn React if you're a junior or not. Well, to be honest, like if you know enough JavaScript, if you know the basics of JavaScript, then I would suggest that you should start learning React. Why is that? Because in most of the render parts of React, you basically use plain JavaScript. You use map, you use filter, you use ternary operator. So in my opinion, it's not that hard. When I started learning React, I think I was doing JavaScript so for about a year. So, and now it's not that hard to pick it up. To be honest, like to me, it feels quite easy. I wouldn't start directly learning React if you don't know any JavaScript, because it would confuse you a lot. But if you have like a good base, well, yeah, in my case, I learned it after 1 year, but I would say that you can start learning it after a couple of months. I would say after 2 or 3 months, for instance, I think you can start at least having a look at. From what I understand, I played a bit with it, but I played later on in my career. A lot of yes, I do work in a company, and most of the companies for which I worked, they were using React. And I mean, React is so popular that there are so many jobs that request React. So I would say for me, it's a must skill that I need to learn. But for newcomers, as far as I know, a lot of people are very into Vue.js. I cannot say whether it's the right choice or not, because I've used it later on in my career. I do like it somehow. I find it is indeed easier. But yeah, I mean, so that I give you a better understanding of how I got React, is that I was applying for a job. I knew jQuery, which, yeah, okay, it's not really JavaScript, but I knew some jQuery and some JavaScript, but everybody was requesting something more modern. And I learned Angular 1, which was okay-ish, and then Angular 2 came out just when I was like, well, it was in beta, it didn't came out yet, but I tried to learn it and it was too complicated, like way too complicated. While with React, I just read documentation, and I mean, I had the basic knowledge after a week. Like, I could do stuff after a week of like checking videos and documentation. So some say that you can pick it up in a weekend, which might be true because there are not that many concepts that you need to know. So you can get it quite fast, but this really depends on your way in which you assimilate the knowledge, on how you can apply it. If you have like a good mini side project that you can try on. But I would say focus first on the basics of JavaScript, and then look either into React or Vue. Well, I don't think you need 20 or 30, but this is different from country to country, to be honest. And I understand completely. What I would, in my case, I never had any portfolio, to be honest, when I got my jobs. As a matter of fact, I'm not actually a developer by education. I did something else, and I'm a self-taught developer. So in my first job, they just hired me because I was the only one who showed at the door. Well, my first jobs were based on what I did in the previous job. I was just explaining, and they could figure it out that I did something. Now, that was my experience. Now, in your case, yes, you need to do one or two small projects, but you don't have to do something big. Like, take instance like this project that I'm building, like the Slack clone. It is in the end something which can be put to a portfolio. I'm not doing it for the portfolio part. As a matter of fact, I'm doing it with other reasons in mind, and these reasons are like, I want to learn these technologies. So what I'm doing now, the Slack clone, is basically, I know React and I know TypeScript, but I don't know anything about styled components, and I don't know anything about Apollo, and I want to learn these technologies. So this is the reasons why I do it. Now, what you need to take is like, don't do something extraordinary or like the next Facebook or something. Just pick something small, like I don't know, I know it's boring and everybody does it, but do a to-do app in whatever you want. And then do like a small Instagram clone, and then do a Slack clone or whatever. So, and you can build from there. You don't need to build like 20 or 30, because if they see that you have the concepts, then yeah, you should be fine. With regards to what technology you want to choose, that's up to you. Does this answer your question? Okay, let's try to log in. back. A, B, C, D. So coming back. Message list. Okay, fair enough. So we have to fix this part as well. Message list ref current. Plus you can do an internship as well. You have the option to do internships. I mean, if you, let's say, afford to do it, and then you can learn some real stuff. You don't need backend, as a matter of fact. Well, either you can use like JSON server, so you can use this thing, which would mock your backend, let's say. So you can use this to do prototyping. I mean, I think JSON placeholder is one of the most known things. So basically, you have this, you say post one and so on, but it's basically you create like a database in a JSON file. That's nothing complicated. Or you can use what I am using, but it's a bit more complicated, so you need to know a bit of some other stuff. You can use Hasura, which is, but okay, you need to know GraphQL for that. You need to understand a bit relational databases for that, and some other stuff. But you can get started with it, or you can use Prisma, for instance, or yeah. Or you can build something on top of, like everybody does it, on top of Star Wars API. Star Wars API. So there are a lot of things that you can use, so you can only do front end. So you can either use, like, again, JSON web server, where you start with a JSON file, or you start with Star Wars API or some other fake kind of these APIs. I mean, if you want images, I think there is a dog API, for instance. Yeah, there's a dog API. Very nice image, right? What's this? Pomeranian, or how is this called? So you have options to only focus on the front end. Personally, I like Hasura, but I didn't choose it because I didn't want to build a backend. It's only because I wanted to make the clone faster, and I wanted to also explore this three-factor app model that the guys from Hasura are advocating. They say that you should build things with events and stuff like that, and yeah, and I wanted to try it because I really like Hasura and the performance of it. So, but yeah, if you don't want to do backend, I would suggest starting using the JSON server. Again, I'm repeating myself for the 5th time or 6th time. So use the JSON server. It's really, really easy to use, and take it from there. I mean, you can just, you see, you have a file here, and you put inside here arrays or objects, and then you can just query it, and it just works. So what I can say is that I wish you all the best, and believe in yourself, and don't have to build again something wow. Well, this is what I'm suggesting you. Instead of having it in the command line, you can put it in a JSON file, and then you can retrieve it. Right? Okay. Coming back to our problem here. So if message taradam. So okay. don't understand why this doesn't work. So I fix this part. History. Okay, maybe for Firefox I need to push it. But anyhow, now I'm just gonna do this. Okay, so let's be friends with what's the name of this guy? Is test1. So let's be friends with this guy. Okay, so we have him here. Now I wonder if I log out, whether this inside here it will turn this because of the subscription. I wonder. So I log out. Wow, cool, it worked. That's very, very nice. I'm really happy. So this is very, very cool, and I think Hasura helped a lot with the subscriptions at this part to make this possible. Otherwise, yeah, indeed, I would have had to write a lot of code. Sorry, so you have this color squares on Visual Studio Code. Is it only for Mac or is the plugin? Klausa, thank you for subscribing. Really, really appreciate it. What squares are you referring to? Because it is a plugin for sure. There is nothing which is related to Mac. I'm actually synchronizing my settings across multiple computers. I have a Linux computer as besides the Mac, and it looks exactly the same. But if you could be more specific, I can tell you exactly what plugin I'm using when you refer to squares. Okay, what I want to do, because I think we reach a lot. So we fixed this subscription part. We can see that we have this part here where if you log in and you log out, now it shows whether you, now it makes a difference. Though we have one problem, which is that if you leave the window, for instance, you're technically not logged out, I think. So let's try to log in again and see. So basically test2 at test.com. I'm gonna check immediately your print screen. A, B, C, D. Okay, so now I'm logged in, and if I close the window, I stay logged in because I'm not calling the backend to log out. So what I would let me check. You mean this? I think I'm using some plugin called Color or something. So the question is like what plugin I'm using to have these colors for indentation. I think it's called Indent Rainbow, but let me check. Is this the Indent Rainbow? Yes, this is the one. So it's Indent Rainbow. This is what I'm using. For better indentation before, because I'm using VS Code for like 3 years. Before it was useful. I think now even VS Code does something like this, or has like these dots or whatever. I'm also using bracket pair colorizer, I think, to have matching. Like you see, this one is this curly brace, it's closed by this one, so I can make a difference between them and stuff like that. So this is the yeah, you're welcome. Let me know if you need something else from my side and how can I help you. So coming back here, what we need to do so that we log out when you basically close the tab or the window is to no. Okay, so what we need to do is that I think we need to do something at the level of the sidebar, for instance, and inside here it's like we have this window on load, on before load, unload, sorry, on before unload, and I think we could do this. So pum pum pum, we could do this. So we can put it actually inside the function logout from server, so that we don't repeat ourselves. We do this, it's an async function, and then we say await logout from server. Okay, and what we want to do is that we want to have another effect which is gonna be called onMount, and on onMount only. So this is the way to do it. Basically, this means that it's run only on onMount. So I want to say window add event listener on how is it called, before unload or something. Okay, and we want to call logout. No, not logout, but logout from server. And we want to do remove listener. I want to remove the listener even though it's not really needed anymore. Before unload, logout from server. I'm not sure it's gonna work exactly like that. I think we might need to prevent it first and then continue closing it, but let's see how it's gonna work. So now I'm inside here, and I'm checking if you do this. You see, now it's logout. So now if I come back, you see the guy is online. If I close the browser, it goes offline. So this is the way to do it. We have an event listener which is called before unloading basically the entire app, to have a callback. The callback is that I'm logging out from this. I am doing a mutation to change the status to offline, and then I'm removing the token that I'm setting for the authentication. And then when the component is completely unmounted, then I remove this listener for garbage collection so that we don't have any kind of memory leaks. But to be honest, you won't have any memory leak because you close the browser. So yeah, we could do like I think we have the visibility API or something, and we could do like if you change the browser to put you to away, like page visibility. But I don't think it's needed. I mean, it would be weird that if you change tabs, then it puts you to away, and then if you come back. So I would say that this is enough for now. What one last thing which I want to do for today is that I want, in case of these things, to have a nicer name. Like right now, it's like, you see, I don't understand anything about this. Like, I know this is my user and this is the other user, but it looks horrible. I don't want to have the name of the users or the name of the channel or of the whatever you want to call it, of the room, of the chat room, based on the IDs of this. I want, or it can be in the database, but I want it to be much nicely in a much nicer format. So what I would suggest is that we fix this, because I want to do the same thing here. Like, I don't want to do message to blah blah blah. I want to say only message to or message in. So I want to make also a difference between when you message inside channels or you message to somebody directly. Gayonara, are you doing stuff with sockets? Yes, I am. Yes, I am sending messages. Look, let me open Mozilla again. So you can see here that I can hello from Twitch stream. Okay, it appeared here, but it didn't appear in my chat box. That's really weird. I wonder why. It might be because of some of my plugins, because I think if I paste here, hello to, here it appears, while here, apparently the subscription is not working in Firefox. And I don't know why. Let's try. Okay, so they come and hello 3. Oh, now it seemed to work. Hello 4. Yeah, well, I have no idea why it didn't work. Yes, so I am sending messages and receiving. I am using GraphQL subscriptions, and as a backend, I'm using Hasura for that. So Hasura is basically, how should I say it? It's a GraphQL backend which transposes all your stuff into Postgres SQL statements. So basically, you create your tables and well, actually, you start from tables in Postgres, and then it creates a GraphQL endpoint for you, and from there you have all the good stuff. But it's actually a compiler. Basically, it compiles to Postgres. But it's really, really, really nice, and it's really, really handy. So it really saved me a lot of coding by using it. Why you have React in HTML5? I don't have any React in any HTML5. I have only an index, which this is the initial one from Create React App. What might look for you is that I'm using HTML5 is where is it? Sidebar. Maybe this one looks to you that it's HTML, but it's actually JSX. It's the templating language, let's say, of React. Some people like it, some people don't. I love it, to be honest. And this is the way that you write your templates. You basically write in JSX and you interpolate either HTML elements like you do in Vue or in Angular with components created in React, the same thing as you would do in Angular or in Vue or in Svelte or any other language. I don't know, framework, sorry. So, because I don't know all the frameworks that are out there. Okay, let's come back to fix this names of the channel. And I think the way we can do it is by I just wonder now if I say hello 5, it's gonna show up here. Well, I don't really understand why sometimes in Mozilla it's not pinging it up, like the connection is lost or something. Hello 7. Okay, it's here. 8. Okay, so I don't know. I think it might be because of the hot module reloaded that I did, that it might be something here in Mozilla, but I'm not sure. I'll have to investigate. But nevertheless, let's try to fix this, because that's the last thing that I want to do for today, and I think we could have some very nice things that we could do next time. I want to check my store for a bit to see exactly what I'm having inside here. So selected channel. So what's the payload? The payload is name, members. So when I say selected channel, I could actually pass some other stuff. So channel, select channel, members. It's only the count here. So this is not the actual members. The name. Okay. Well, we could take a different naming to it, in the sense that we could what information do we have about the channel? So we have the channel memberships. Let's check a bit my query. I think membership query. So we have channel memberships direct user. Well, inside the membership, do we have access to maybe the user? No, we have to go deep actually to get the username. But okay, that's completely fine. Now that we know it, we have to update as well the subscription. So we do here username. Okay, so what we need to do now is to dig very deep inside the request and get the username. And I hope that we have the username inside our store. Local storage, we only have the channel, but that's not really a problem, because okay, let's do it like this. So we have username, save, subscriptions, save. Okay, and okay, in sidebar apparently it is unhappy that I am the logout from server functions makes the dependencies of useEffect hook change on everyone. To fix this, wrap the logout server into its own use callback. Yes, that's a good idea. to do, but I'm not going to do it now. I mean, basically it says that this function is recreated every single time, and basically because of that, that effect might be called multiple times. But I will do it maybe at the end of the stream. I want to first fix this, so I'm using channel memberships. And I'm gonna map over them because it's an array. And I have a membership, and from the membership I want a membership dot user. We don't have the complete types because I changed them and I never updated them. User dot user name, and then I want to join or split join as a string with this kind of separator. So let's see. Okay, so now if I do this, the selected channel name, yeah, well, I did it for the wrong for the wrong things. I actually did it for this channel, so it doesn't really matter. No, I actually need that part for something else. So sorry, I did it in the wrong place. But that's fine. That's fine. This is channels. As a matter of fact, it means that it is inside direct messages, I think. Yeah. Channel. Okay, select channel, channel name, and here we do this. So here is the logic that we need. If I go against user 4, I have, you see, test 1, user 4, and then I have test 2, test 1. That's really, really nice. The thing that we need to fix, though, is this horrible thing that we have here, to put the username instead of the ID. So the way we do it is by, let me check, item, status, members count, DM titles. And what does it mean, chat? DM titles is, we actually want the user value, channel memberships value user dot user name. Let's do it like this for now because we don't have any updated types. So we see now we have them nicely put over there, which I really, really like it. We don't need the membership here. Now, the last thing which I want to fix for this stream is to say whether you're sending inside a channel or you're sending inside a direct message. Now I wonder, how we should do it. I think the way to do it is You see it says send to in Vue.js. I want to say in Vue.js here as a placeholder, and I want here to say send to user4, for instance. So the way to do it is by adding the store multiple things. So basically this thing that we're setting in the store and in the local storage, I would like to add more parameters. I want to add whether it's a direct, as I would call, like direct message, or a general channel, and based on that we make the distinction, and if it has multiple participants or not. So okay, where do we have the channel? So the action payload, state selected channel. I think we need to make an interface out of that. So we have interface general channel. Okay, which basically is this. ID and direct is false, and then we have a direct channel, I would call it, and then it has the same things. Direct is true, and I want to know if it has well, I can deduce it from the number of members, so that's fine. Well, as a matter of fact, we don't actually need an interface for that. I thought that's going to be more complicated, but as a matter of fact, we don't need anything else than adding here direct is Boolean, which means that the payload, where do I set the payload for it? Here, and I would say direct true. Direct is Boolean. And now we need to make sure that we update everything. So we have the channel like this. So we spread it. And we have direct false. Okay. That means for direct messages, we have the channel. And we have a direct true. Okay, and we need to spread it. Here we have join channel, which means we have to spread the channel, and the direct is false because we are creating a channel. Okay, join a DM. Here thing is a bit the same as with direct messages. We spread the channel, and the direct is true. Same thing here. We do a spread, and the direct is true. And that should be all. Let's see, save all. I hope it's not gonna crash. Did it reload? Yes. Good. Now inside my message, I never know what component is this. input message. Okay, so inside input message, I want to say like this. Const message. So now we actually do like this, let message, which is of type string, and then we have if select channel and select channel dot name. Okay, now we have multiple options. If we can actually do a switch, or should we? We would have that many cases. I will try with the switch. So I will say switch true. I think that for some ES version they would have a better switch. Let me try switch ES 2019. Switch JS. What's new in JavaScript? Because I know that they want to have a better structure for switch, but bum bum. Okay, never mind. Switch through. So if select channel dot direct is false, basically we would say that message is equal to message in, and we actually need backticks in, and we say select channel dot name. Okay, and we have a break statement here. Then if select channel direct and select channel dot members equals to, I would say break first, and then the message would be message 2, and I would say select channel dot name, and I want actually to I won't leave it as such, and I will show you what the problem is. And then if you then you have the default case where message is the same. Let me check how they do it on Slack. Let's see. I will actually open here. So just go in Slack. Slack, blah blah blah. Let's try. I don't know. I'll just look for some users here. Joe and Riaz. Joe and Riaz. Go. Message Joe Riaz. Okay. And if I do message, okay. So we can do this then. Message this, and here we do this. Okay. Default message would be this. Okay. So I would use the same thing, but I'm having in mind something else. Do I have to do it like this? I think so. I might not actually need this, the, how do you call it, the switch statement. I might be able to do it only with if statements. Ah, and I need a case in front. Yeah. Case. Okay. Pop. And here we have message. Let's see. Message is used before being assigned. Okay. I can do this. You know what? Okay, so message general, that's fine. Message test2 test1. This is not what I want, because basically I want to strip out all the references to my username, and then the same thing would be in the case if I have multiple users. So what I want to do is to basically, do I have the user? Yes, good. So I basically would replace my user dot username with nothing. So let's try it, and we have the minus in front. What we could do is to do this. We make a regex. We put the can we put the user.username inside the regex? I never did it, so regex JavaScript insert variable. New regex. Okay, you can use regex string. Okay, we can do this. So we can use the backticks to do this. And we also need to strip out the minus. So basically, this would be the way to do it, I think. Minus. Hope it works. Test. Well, it didn't really work out, did it? Let's do it inside here. So const user equals test2. Is it big enough? Do you all see it? Okay. And we want to do user dot, okay, and const x equals test1. So user dot replace in the backticks like this. And I would say x. I wonder if it works. No, it doesn't, because if I do this, can I use no. If I do test1, okay, so we need to do like this, test1 or minus. What? No, I'm not good with regex, but we can debug it. Test1, test2, and I want to remove test1. Okay. Test1. Still work, yes. So what's wrong? Okay. I think we might need to do here GI. Okay, so that's the way to do it. For that, we need to do const regex new regex. How do they do it here? We can do it this level. I like that approach. Okay. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, thanks. We have user.username. Basically have this. Minus. And then I want GI. So let's see it in action. Message to test2. Yay! It works fine. Now we have one other problem that I want to fix, and that's the final one, is that if we have, come on, okay, user 3, and this needs to be fixed for sure. And user 4, join. I wonder if I do that. Okay, so I want to filter this part. I want to filter my username from there. So basically that would mean that I would do the same thing as here. Well, actually, I will replace only my username. Okay, I would transform it into an array using the minus, and then I'm just gonna join it again. With the comma and space. Okay, we have the comma. That's what I hoped that I could remove. But what we can do is that we basically replace the minus with well, we can actually do like this, and we have this comma in front, so we need to kind of remove it. How should we do that? Actually, I think we should do it in an array and transform it into an array, and I'll show you why. I have a feeling that we can filter the array for the empty elements, so I would do this. Okay, and then I'm gonna split by minus, and let's see what we have here. Have an array of 5 elements, and then we can basically filter on this, I think. So we have users, we do this, then we filter so that the element well, actually, instead of doing this, we can split them directly, and we filter the user to not be equal to user dot is username user dot username. Okay, and inside here we do users dot join. Let's see if it works. Yes, it did work. So basically what we did, we split the array using the minuses. So we use this as a separator to create the array, and then we made sure that this username, the current logged in username, is not present inside here. And then we just retransformed it into a string by joining the array using the comma and a space. So yeah, that's it for today. I think we made quite a lot of things. We fixed this subscription part over here. Still need to fix this part because I don't know why I have this hashtag in front here. Do you have a hashtag here? You always have a hashtag. But as you saw when you first created how do you call it? No, I think we can do better. Can we? I think we can fix it right now. Reason being, I want in the next stream to move to the Algolia part. So let's go here, join DM component. So this is the title, dispatch. Yeah, okay. Can we fix it that fast? Don't think we can, like immediately. Let's try to create another direct. So I want with this guy and with this guy, join. What's the result of the network call? Okay, it's an existing membership. View response data channel user 1 2 3 4. Yeah, but I didn't really request that one, did I? Make wait with user 5. It works. I think we are doing it here now. Set membership. Yeah, channel not length. So we do this. We create the channel. And then it comes. But basically, what we would need is to replace the ID with ours. So let's see what's the response here, because then we might need to do the same thing that we did here. So let's try with user 6. Okay. So dot log. Have an object, data, insert channel, turning name. I think we need to add more stuff here. How do we do it in the sidebar? Like in the direct messages. Value.user.username. Well, it's not hard to do it. It's just like for the channel, we include the membership and the users, and then we can do this. So it's basically, yeah, it would be the same as here. But I think we are a bit over time, so I will do it in the next stream for sure. I mean, I'm over 2 hours, 30 minutes, so it's a bit long, this stream. But yeah, to recap what we did, we converted all the render props patterns for Apollo into using hooks, like inside here, for instance. Do we have it here? No. In the message box, for instance, we have lazy query. So we fixed this part because subscription was not working because it was out of sync compared to the query. We added this nice placeholder instead of the generic one. We now show username instead of IDs in most of the cases, except when you create a channel or a direct message channel. So that should be fixed soon. We also did this part, but with logging out the user when it closes the tab or closes the browser. I will have to look into this as well to memorize it. And so we have two things. Thanks for subscribing, Riemann. Thank you very much. So that's what we did. What do we need to do next time? Fix this when you create. Memorize this. So two things first, and then I would like to start the implementation with Algolia, in the sense that I want to have like a Google-like search inside here, for instance, that you could look for messages and stuff like this. So basically that would mean that we would implement Algolia. I would like to use the schema stitching part of Hasura to have like one single backend, so all the API calls to Algolia would be handled by Hasura. We would use Netlify functions. For that, we would also use Netlify functions to synchronize the Hasura database. Basically, when you create a new message, to send it to Algolia. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that one. What else? I think that's what we are gonna do next time. So Algolia and synchronization. So serverless functions with Netlify, that would be an interesting one, and to use Algolia. I've never done any of the two, so that should be very, very challenging. Now, thanks everyone for watching it. Thanks for everybody who commented and talked with me. Thanks to everybody who subscribed. If you want to see the recording of this stream, I will upload it on YouTube under Time to Code channel, and you can check it up there. And I'll catch you up next time. Thank you guys, and see you. Bye.